So the president last night in Washington citing the war in Ukraine to push his green energy policy. The following is a quote from the official White House transcript. Democratic fundraiser in D.C. last night. So much of this was about climate change. Here is one quote here. Russia and Ukraine is another reason why we have to get off our dependency on fossil fuels. Imagine where we'd be right now if, in fact, Europe was, in fact, energy free of fossil fuels and we were in a situation where it was all renewables. It'd be a different world. Well, it's 2022, and Karl Rove has some thoughts on this. Karl, good morning to you. If it were 2042, maybe you'd make an argument like that. You saw the transcript from this. I read it as well. What did you make of it, Karl?
This is a dangerous territory for the president to be venturing in. I mean, people want to hear the facts. They want to be told the truth. They want to be told why these things are happening. And they have experienced a year of inflation. They know that what they're paying at the pump and what they're paying at the grocery store is not the result of Vladimir Putin. It is the result of the policies of this government. And for the president to be talking about this just shows why, in the latest ABC Ipsos poll, 70% disapprove of Biden's handling of inflation. And inflation is looming as the biggest economic issue here at home in 2022, and the biggest issue at the polls.
Okay, there's more polling that, well, I mean, it shows America's going sideways on this. What's the obsession with climate when China continues to burn more coal? What's the obsession with climate? Do you think Putin is raising climate change in these summits, either with Biden or Trump or Obama before him?
No, look, we're the only major industrialized economy in the world that is simultaneously growing its economy and reducing the absolute level of greenhouse gas emissions. China is not even obligated to start reducing its annual emissions for a number of years to come. Same with India. And I repeat, we are the only major industrialized economy to be simultaneously growing and reducing its greenhouse gas emissions, and we've been doing it for decades. And again, this is dangerous territory for the president. Think about this. New Economist YouGov poll. Biden says what he believes, 36%. Says what he thinks people want him to hear, 47%. And 18% undecided. Think about that. Nearly 2/3 of the American people already believe either he's just telling us what he thinks we want to hear, or I don't know, but I'm sort of leaning against him. This is a dangerous place for the president to be, and it's because when a president loses his credibility, he begins to be seen as a weak leader. Think about this. Also in the same Economist YouGov poll, very strong leader, 13%. Somewhat strong, 24%. Somewhat weak, 20%. Very weak, 43%. Now, once those numbers get baked in, it's hard to reverse them. And the president has created this problem for himself by not shooting straight with this. Americans know that, think about this. The last year that Trump is in office, gasoline prices dropped 3%. They've grown 43% from January of 2021 to January of 2022. So, but we've lived through this. We're living through it in our real lives. And for the president not to be shooting straight with this causes us to doubt him. And when we begin to doubt the president, he begins to become a weaker leader in our eyes and a weaker leader in reality.
One more point on this. He talked about Putin and COVID, blaming them, supply chain, all that stuff for inflation. That was the rationale. He used that. But the reason you keep coming back to climate as a Democratic politician is because that's where the money is, isn't it? On the progressive left, that's where you get fundraising.
Well, and that's where you get enthusiasm. And they're looking at these same polls, and they're finding out that he's got a problem with suburban voters, he's got a problem with independents, and he's got a problem with his own base with a lot of people on the left after he promised to be a transformational president once he got into office, after running as the normal guy in the election. They got enthusiastic about the guy that they saw in office. He raised their expectations. He's not been able to deliver. And again, it causes people inside his party to say weak leader. So he's got problems all over the board. But rather than trying to solve the problem with independents and suburban swing voters first, he's decided he's going to play to the base. He's been playing to the base for a year and a quarter, and it hasn't worked. Why does he think it's going to change now?
Imagine where we'd be right now if, in fact, Europe was free of fossil fuels. Today, that's a pipe dream while the war continues. Karl, thank you.
Fantasy.
Nice to see you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.